Hi, my name is Kane, and I'm from Brazil. Please like and subscribe to Luna Avata. Even though my parents were poor, I always had big dreams as a kid. When I was 8, my best friend Gangle and I used to sit at the bus stop on the weekends and would admire all the fancy cars that would drive past. Wow, did you see that? BMW? I want one like that when I grow up.
I believe you'll drive a car like that one day, Kane. Remember what our teacher said? If you believe it, you will have it.
Gangle also came from a poor family, like me, and I cared about her a lot. Once, when we were in the 8th grade, she couldn't bring her lunch for the whole week because her parents were so broke. And even though she came up with all sorts of excuses not to take my lunch, I wasn't going to leave my friend to starve.
Kane, I'm not that hungry. Please, I don't want to take your lunch.
You know you don't have to have pride with me. Come on, let's share.
Okay, but next week is my turn to share with you.
But when next week came, Gangle had more than enough to share with me since her dad got a big good job in the city.
I got us candy bars today.
Wow, thank you. I'm really happy that your family's doing well.
Yeah, and there's something else I need to tell you.
She looked a little sad, and then I felt sad when she told me.
We won't be living in the same place anymore. We're moving to the city, and I won't be in this school.
I was happy for Gangle because she was going to have a better life, but I was sad since she was my best friend. We promised to write to each other every month, but as time went by, she stopped writing, but I didn't. I started focusing a lot on my studies when Gangle left and became the top student in my school. When I was in 10th grade, I got selected to participate in a national math tournament. When I was at the tournament, I was so happy when I saw Gangle. She was also selected from her school. Gangle, she looks so beautiful now. Gangle looked at me like she didn't even know me. Or maybe it was because I also looked different. It's me, Kane.
Oh, hi. It's been a while.
She looked down at my shoes and made a face of disgust.
I'm guessing you're still stuck at the poor people's location.
If that's what you call it.
Okay. I have to go. My friends are waiting.
That was not the Gangle I knew, but I didn't let that distract me. During the tournament, I beat all the kids, even the rich ones from Gangle's school.
Well done, Kane.
Thanks, Gangle. And it was nice seeing you again. As I walked to the hallway, a tall man approached me. He was the principal of the most expensive school in the city. It was the same school Gangle went to.
Well done on your achievement today. I would love to have a student like you at my school.
Thanks, sir, but I don't think my parents can afford your school for now.
You would definitely qualify for a scholarship, and I could help you with that.
When I told my parents about the offer I got from the principal, they were so happy. Dad immediately spoke to one of his friends who lived closer to the school to accommodate me, and he gladly accepted. After a month, I moved into Dad's friend's house. He had a daughter who was my age, Pomni, and she was on another level of always being happy.
I've always been an only child in this massive house. It's just me and my father. I'm so glad to finally have someone to talk to. Come on, I want to show you our swimming pool. I've won 5 gold medals. It's because I practice every day.
Thanks, but swimming is not my thing.
What? Swimming should be everybody's thing. What would you do if the world comes to an end and the entire earth gets flooded? It has to be everybody's thing. Then I'll teach you. Let's go.
Pomni was so persistent about everything I did, everything she asked me to do since her father was super kind to me. She never mentioned her mom, and I didn't want to intrude. When Pomni and I entered the school gates together, all eyes were on us, and I didn't understand why.
Oh my gosh! Everyone thinks I'm dating the new hot guy.
Which new hot guy?
You silly! You're really cute. Don't you know that?
I blushed when she said that because I never really paid attention to how I looked, since I focused so much on getting high grades. And then as we walked into our next class, all the girls started tapping the seat next to them.
Hey, new guy, you could sit next to me.
Oh no, you should really sit next to me. I have all the answers to everything.
Pomni suddenly hid behind me when she saw Gangle walk in, and then she took my hand.
He'll sit next to me. We come from way back. Isn't that so, Kane?
I saw Gangle glare at Pomni sternly, and she quickly ran to her seat and didn't look at me for the rest of the day. Gangle pulled me along with her everywhere in school, and because I missed her so much, I stuck with her.
I'm so happy that you're in my school, Kane, but we got to get you some new shoes, okay?
But these are my favorite shoes, Gangle.
I know, but change is good sometimes. Look at me. I live a fabulous life, which starts with how we look.
Pomni walked past me and Gangle like she didn't even know me, and when I saw her after school to find out what was up, she acted like everything was normal. Hey, you suddenly avoided me. What happened?
Nothing. I just wanted to give you and Gangle your space. She seems to really like you.
Yeah, we're old friends. Are you afraid of Gangle?
No, she's just this popular girl who gets everything she wants. And I don't want any trouble at school, so we could just be friends at my house.
Okay, if that's what you want. The next day at school, Gangle immediately approached me and took me to a quiet place. And then she took a new pair of sneakers from her bag for me. I felt very uncomfortable taking them. But these are my favorite shoes, Gangle.
Kane, it's rude not to take a gift. You know that. Remember that time you made me share your lunch and I took it?
Yeah, but I was helping.
Take my gift, Kane, please.
I looked at her eyes, and she looked like she was about to cry, so I took the shoes. But it didn't stop there. Gangle changed my whole look, and I kind of liked it, but hanging out with her and her friends felt awkward. Like this one time when we were in 12th grade, they invited me to a beach party, and when I decided to bring Pomni along, Gangle acted like she owned me.
Kane, can I speak to you alone, please?
She seemed angry, and I left Pomni waiting for me.
Why did you bring her to a party that I invited only you to?
I live in her house, and she's my friend, so I thought it'd be okay.
Well, it's not okay, and I'm not happy. You were my friend first. In fact, I think I like you more than a friend now.
Gangle suddenly kissed me, which caught me off guard. Before I could react, my phone rang, and it was my dad. Sorry, I have to take this. My dad called to tell me that in a month's time, they would be losing the house because he lost his job. Gangle could see that I wasn't okay. And because I was so worried, I ended up telling her everything.
So you're going to be homeless?
No, I won't allow that to happen.
Well, I don't know how you will do anything since you're still in school, but if you send Pomni back home and tell her that she's a loser, then I'll speak to my dad to help your family.
What? I can't do that. Pomni's family is helping me, and she's a good person.
She's a freak, Kane, and you're hot and smart, and I want you all to myself.
I was so turned off with Gangle. She wanted me to hurt another person for no reason, and I just couldn't do it. I went back home with Pomni, and she was happy to get out of the party because it wasn't her vibe either.
Maybe we can go get some ice cream.
Yeah, let's do that.
What did Queen Gangle say? You look so unhappy after you spoke to her.
Don't worry about it. I don't think I'll be hanging around her anymore. After our fun ice cream date, I started growing really fond of Pomni. She was sweet and accepted me for who I am. She was still very hyper about many things, but I started loving that about her. And then after the weekend, when I went back to school, everyone looked at me differently. Even the girls who used to drop hints at me now looked at me like some poor, pathetic boy.
I can't have a homeless boy in our school.
I spotted Gangle talking to a group of kids. I stood behind her. She was talking about me.
Kane is a total fake. I had to buy him clothes and shoes because his family is going to be homeless soon.
Wow. But how can someone so hot be so poor?
Gangle, how could you do this?
Oh, speak of the poor devil.
She looked at me coldly, and then I took off the shoes she bought me and threw them in her face. Congratulations, Gangle. Money has turned you into a real witch. I walked away from her, and Pomni ran after me.
Kane, wait. Don't throw your education away because of her. Gangle did something really humiliating to me once before, and that's why I stay away from her and whatever she wants.
What did she do to you, Pomni? Pomni started crying, and I hugged her. Then she told me that she was the popular girl at school once before, and Gangle was her best friend until she told everyone her big secret.
Gangle kept asking about my mom, and then I told her something my family never shared with anyone. My mom is in a mental institute. Gangle told everyone at school. From that day, everyone called me a mental case.
Oh, Pomni, why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I didn't want you to think that I was a mad person. I'm not my mother. I'm me.
After what Pomni told me, I wanted nothing more to do with Gangle. I completed my last year of high school with Pomni by my side, and her dad also helped my parents not lose the house. Thank you so much for all that you did for my family. I hope to pay you back one day, sir.
You have a bright future ahead of you, Kane, and it was a pleasure having you in my house.
I'm going to miss you so much.
I got a scholarship to study medicine in one of the most prestigious universities abroad, and my school helped my parents pay for my flight ticket since I was the best student they ever had. I worked hard in university and became one of the best heart doctors in the world, and when I went back to Brazil to visit my parents, I also paid a visit to Pomni and her father.
Kane, I'm so glad to see you.
Pomni looked emotional. What's wrong?
My dad is in the hospital. It's his heart.
I spoke to the head of the hospital that Pomni's father was in, and I was ready to do anything to save him. While I was at the hospital, one of the nurses suddenly approached me.
Kane,
I couldn't recognize her since she had her hair covered up, and when I looked closer, it was Gangle. Hello, Gangle.
wow, you're a doctor now?
Yes, and I am a very busy person, so please excuse me. I walked past her, and I could feel her eyes still on me. But she was someone I forgot about a long time ago. After my successful operation on Pomni's father, he couldn't stop thanking me, and I was happy that I was able to do something good for him and Pomni.
Kane, you are like my angel. You always come into my life at just the right time. When I was lonely back at high school, you filled up my life, and today you saved my father.
I comforted Pomni, then suddenly Gangle walked towards me. What can I do for you, Gangle?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry to both of you.
She looked really sincere, so Pomni and I forgave her. She asked if we could have dinner together. I looked at Pomni, and she nodded, so we hung out together. As we sat in a restaurant, we actually enjoyed ourselves, and when Pomni excused herself to go to the bathroom, Gangle confessed to me.
I still love you, Kane. I don't know what came over me in high school, but I've changed now.
I'm sorry, Gangle, but I'm in love with Pomni, and that's why I came back to Brazil. Gangle understood and then got up and left.
Where's Gangle?
She's gone, so it's just the two of us. I stepped forward, Pomni's, looked into her eyes, and told her how I felt. Pomni, will you go out with me on a real date?
Oh, yeah. So I guess I did get the hottest guy in school after all.
She always knew how to make me blush. Never let your current situation determine your future. When life throws you lemons, make sweet lemonade.
Hi, my name is Pippalook, and I'm from Greenland. Please like and subscribe. I was raised in a small village by my amazing single mom, who was a farmer. We didn't have a lot, but we were really happy. She was my best friend. Once, when I was 5, Mom and I were at a funeral when suddenly I yelled, "Ew! Mom, did you just fart?" As I turned around to look, Mom turned red.
Of course not. This child is so silly. I've never in my life.
You're such a liar, Mom. I hear you do it all.
Pippalook, stop it.
Stinky, liar, pants on fire. By now, everyone was roaring with laughter as Mom chased me around and I ran ahead singing, "She farted, she farted." I was in a lot of trouble later, but I realized something. I'd made people laugh and I really enjoyed that. After that, I became the joker of the village. Mom thought I was hilarious too, as long as I wasn't joking about her. Once when I was 14, I'd taken my cows out for grazing in the fields, when suddenly I saw a bird drop to the ground. I ran to it and saw that it was hurt. As I tried dressing its wound, 2 strange girls came running up to me.
Hey, cow dung! That bird is my prey, so back off! Yeah, do what my boss said.
You hit this poor creature? Pick on someone your own size, witch.
Okay, you asked for it!
And with that, she jumped on me and we broke into a fight. I kicked her in her stomach, and as she howled in pain, I ran to my cow and went back home. Soon after I got there, I realized the 2 had followed me. They started complaining to Mom that I'd beat them up. She started it!
Oh, you horrible girl! I think you burst my appendix.
Yeah, Auntie. I saw how your daughter kicked my boss. Wait, I'll show you.
She took some steps back and ran straight to the mean girl, kicking her hard in the stomach.
Ow! You moron!
Boss, I'm sorry. So sorry.
As the 2 ran out, Mom and I were laughing our heads off. What idiots! I found out later they were some city brats who'd come on a school trip to the village. Thank God I wouldn't be seeing them around again. A few days later, when I got back from school, I was surprised to see a big car outside our house. I stepped in to find a wealthy-looking man talking to Mom.
The doctors think it's safe for Pippalook to move back to the city now. I can never thank you enough for taking care of my child.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Oh, Pippalook, how lovely and grown up you are.
Who are you and what's going on? Mom! And what she said next turned my world upside down.
He's your real dad, Pippaluck, and your real mum died soon after you were born. You had some mysterious disease, and the doctor said you had to be raised in the village till your teens. So your dad left you with me, and now he's here to take you.
You never thought of telling me this. And what am I? Another animal on your farm that you keep and give away whenever you like? I thought you were my mom.
I'm sorry, Pippaluck, but you're not my real daughter. Your dad has been giving me money to take care of you, and now you must go with him.
Her words were a big blow to me. I had to leave, and I did with a heavy heart. But my dad seemed really nice, and I felt myself warming up to him. He dropped another bombshell on me, though. Apparently, I had a sister, too. Her name was Ani, and she was a year older than me. A few hours later, I arrived at my new home in the city, which was a huge mansion. As Dad led me inside, he told a servant to go get my sister, and when she walked in, I nearly had a stroke. It was one of the girls I'd met in the village, the mean girl's minion.
Cowdung, what are you doing here?
You two have met?
Yeah, I met Cowdung on a school trip. Why is she here, Dad?
Stop calling her that. Her name is Pippaluck, and I told you I was getting your sister.
Yeah, but I thought you meant you were getting me a cute little puppy.
Dad warned her to be nice to me, but the minute he left the room, she whipped out her phone and called the mean girl.
Hello, boss. I've got some really gross news. Dad got me a sister, and it's Cowdung. Yeah, the same girl from the village. Okay, I'll keep reporting over and out.
Gosh, of all the people in the world, I had to have this mad girl as my sister. It was summer break, and school hadn't started yet. I thought I'd get to bond with Dad, but he wasn't around much. He was mostly away for work and would give us gifts when he returned. But otherwise, it was just me and Ani at home, and I tried to avoid her as much as possible. A few weeks later, Dad hosted a grand dinner for some guests, and it was the first time I'd ever been to a party like that. Suddenly, Ane came running in with some things Dad got on his last trip.
Dad, your gifts are always so cheap. Why did you get me a calculator when I asked for a new cell phone? You wait till I steal yours.
A cell phone won't change your math grade from an F, but a calculator might help you get a D. Now go away and let me introduce Pippaluck to everyone. Come here, love. Meet my daughter. Guys, this one's really smart.
For the first time, I felt bad for Ani. Dad had basically just called her dumb in front of everyone. A week later, I joined Ane's school, and as soon as we entered the building, she ran to her boss, whose name was Diana. She smirked when she spotted me.
Well, you turned out to be really lucky, didn't you? But don't think for a second that you actually belong here. You will always be the uncivilized monkey whose best friends are cows. Ha ha ha!
That's a compliment because cows are amazing. And yes, I'm quite lucky and rich enough to have a private zoo for donkeys like you. The kids standing around us snickered and Diana looked furious. Apparently, lots of people in school didn't like her because she was mean, and they warmed up to me instantly. I made plenty of friends in no time because I could always make people laugh. Soon, I found out about a stand-up comedy contest at school, and I immediately signed up. Just then, Ane came running and pushed me aside and wrote Diana's name on the sheet too. Jeez! The night before the show, I was rehearsing my script in my room when I noticed Ane peeking through the door. Hey, you can't steal my jokes for Diana!
As if she needs your jokes. She's gonna win anyway.
How can you be so sure?
My cat told me cats are really good at predicting the future.
Okay, then tell me something. Why do you like being Diana's minion? You're just as pretty and rich as she is.
Are you crazy? Diana's so much prettier than me.
Says who?
Diana does. She's been saying that since we were kids, and she would never lie to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to practice my clapping for the show tomorrow.
This girl was mental, but I'd started to realize that she wasn't evil like Diana, just really dumb. On the day of the contest, I gave my best on the stage and got quite a few laughs. And then it was Diana's turn. She stepped up in front of the mic and said,
Hello, judges! Before I begin, I'd like to tell you that I'm the most beautiful comedy queen of the school!
Suddenly, Ane laughed out loud.
Ha ha ha! Wow, very funny!
Diana glared at her.
Where was I? Yeah, so all my friends say I have the best sense of humor.
Ha ha ha! Oh my god! What What a joke! You're killing me, Diana!
And she laughed so hard she fell off her chair. Everybody started laughing too, and Diana looked super embarrassed. She screamed and jumped off the stage after Anne, who yelled, "Ah!"
What, boss? You told me to laugh!
But later, when the results were announced, I was declared the winner! I ran home happily to tell Dad, but he wasn't home as usual. So I called him up. Dad, you won't believe this. I got first place in the comedy contest. You should have seen how everyone loved it.
Oh, that's great, honey.
Yeah, it's Dad. Hello? Can you hear me? He just hung up the phone. At that moment, I really missed my mom. She would have been so proud of me. Probably not. She said I wasn't her daughter and made me leave. She wouldn't care either. As I was going to my room, I walked past Annie's room and saw her sitting on her bed, crying like a baby. Hey, what's wrong? Can I sit here?
Yeah, sit. But a little away from me because boss says cow dung stinks.
Oh, come on now, tell me. Why are you crying? It's about Diana, right?
Yeah, I did what she told me to. I laughed at her jokes to make her win, but now she's mad at me. She didn't even post my video on her TokTok account today.
What video and what account? She showed me Diana's TokTok account, where she uploaded Ane's videos, doing absurd things like standing on a table and doing a stupid dance, jumping like a frog on the street. Even acting like Diana's puppy in one video. What the freaking fish? Diana has been using my sister as a joke to get followers. Don't you see the problem with this, Ane?
What? Diana's making me popular. Maybe I'll get so famous I'll be cast in comedy movies one day.
Ane was just watching the views on her videos and smiling. This Diana was a jerk, and I had to think of some way to teach her a lesson. And the very next day, I walked into the cafeteria with Ane, and we found Diana bragging loudly to a group of girls.
This is your first time going to France, loser. I've been there so many times. Actually, I was planning on seeing the fashion show in Paris this coming weekend, but my old grandma passed away last night. Ugh, just ruined my plans.
And Ane started to wail.
Oh my god, what? Granny died last night. But wait, I spoke to her this morning, when I called your house. This doesn't make any sense, and she said you guys were going to the village on the weekend.
As Diana's lie was caught and everyone started to laugh, she looked livid.
You don't know anything because you're a complete moron! Why can't you just keep your mouth shut?
Diana raised her hand to slap her, but I stepped in and pushed her back. Don't you dare touch my sister! Stay away from her! And you're not using her anymore for stupid videos or anything else, you black-hearted donkey! I knocked her down to the ground, and Annie jumped in too! While the two wrestled and screamed, I grabbed Diana's phone and deleted the TokTok account and all the videos. We got suspended for a few days for attacking Diana, but it was totally worth it. Dad wasn't mad at me when he found out, but he went totally bonkers on Ane.
You already don't do much to make me proud, and now you've gotten yourself suspended. I don't know what I've done to deserve a dumb daughter like you.
Ane went crying to her room and I felt terrible. Later that evening, I decided I'd talk to Dad about not being so mean to her all the time. I went into his study and he wasn't there. But I found his laptop open with an email from his lawyer that left me shook. The will left by Pipaluk's mother cannot be changed. She is the sole heiress of all her mother's wealth, and you as the stepfather get nothing. We will have to find some other way to get a hold of that orphan's money. Wait! Dad was my stepdad. My mother had left me money and he was trying to take it.
Why are you snooping around?
Can you explain this email, Dad? Or should I say stepdad?
Yeah. I'm not your father. Your mother left me for someone else and had you. But then they both died. And the police left you with me because there was no one else. I left you in the village with some poor woman who wanted a child so badly she didn't even take any money. I only brought you back because I needed you to sign some papers. But it looks like it's no use. So you can just go back to your idiot mother while I figure something out.
And what about my money? You can't have it.
Oh, yes, I can. And I will. What are you gonna do about it?
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This man was pure evil. I ran upstairs and started packing my things. I wasn't staying here another minute. But as I was leaving, I heard police sirens, and there were cops at the door to arrest Dad for theft and fraud.
You called the police, Pipaluk?
No, I did. I heard everything you and Dad were talking about, Pipaluk, and then I snuck down to his study and sent his emails to the police.
How could you do this to your own father, Ane?
Because you're a crook. And you're not a good father either. My whole life you've told me I'm stupid and not good enough. Well, I deserve better than you. Take him away.
The cops took him away, and I turned to hug her tight. You're amazing, Anne.
But you're still leaving me to go with your mom, right?
No, I'm taking you with me. Mom said she took money to keep me, but I just knew in my heart that wasn't true. Your dad made her say that to make me leave with him. She's the most amazing mom, Annie. And she would love to have you too.
Are you sure?
100%. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Emery, and this is my story. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. When I was a kid, my parents always fought a lot. Mom got so fed up that she yanked me out of bed one night and snuck me out the door. Mom, I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed.
Shh. Quiet.
The next thing you know, we'd moved to a tiny apartment in a strange town, and I hated it. I screamed and cried for Mom to take us back home. Take me back! This is whack! I tried reaching out to my dad, but he was always too busy. That made me sad. But Mom found ways to cheer me up. Eventually, I got used to our new place, and hanging out with Mom was pretty cool. After a while, Mom met someone new. Soon they were married, and we moved into a new house. My stepdad was nice, but his daughter was a witch.
Hey Naomi, welcome your new mom and stepsister.
Welcome them. You, Dad, they're poor. Why are we keeping them here and feeding them? They're disgusting and gross.
Haha, she's just kidding. She's a little shy. She's a sweetheart once you get to know her.
Naomi was the worst. She threw ketchup in my face, turned the lights off when I was reading, tossed my clothes out the window, and stole all my toys. I tried to tell my mom what was going on.
Hey babe, we're guests here. Naomi is a bit spoiled, but we have to learn to accept her.
Thank God Naomi and I didn't go to the same school. Naomi went to an expensive school for brats, and I begged my mom and stepdad to let me stay at my old school. But a few years later, things took a turn. My stepdad's company lost a ton of money and he couldn't keep up with the bills.
Girls, money is tight, so we'll have to enroll both of you in public school.
Public school? No!
Naomi threw the biggest tantrum and refused to eat for a week, though I caught her sneaking cookies from the kitchen at night. On the first day of school, Naomi acted like a total spoiled brat.
Hey everyone! You may see this girl talking to me, but that doesn't mean we're related. She's just our maid.
No, she's our maid.
No, she's our maid.
No, she is our maid.
No, she's our maid.
Naomi and I fought all the time. We shouted at each other in the hallway, had a food fight in the cafeteria, and one time during science class, we started shoving each other and accidentally hurt the teacher who was trying to separate us. She ended up with a broken nose. The kids thought we were insane. Neither of us had any friends. I mean, I couldn't blame them. Naomi was a crazy witch and I'm cool, but shy and weird and insecure and invisible. So yeah, after weeks of being outcasts, we grew a bit closer. Just a bit. 'Cause we were lonely, and we only had each other. Then one day in first grade, our parents sat us down to give us some news.
We're gonna have a baby.
Oh really? That's cool!
A baby? Why would you go and do a stupid thing like that?
The baby came and my parents were so happy.
A beautiful little boy.
Isn't he precious? Let's call him Sam.
I fell in love with Sam immediately, even though he was annoying. He cried a lot and peed all over the place. Naomi avoided Sam like the plague. She'd lock herself in her room and only came out to eat.
Look at his stupid, dirty face. Oh my God. Why is he throwing food everywhere?
I played with Sam every day.
You're so good with him. Honey, could you watch Sam while Dad and I run some errands?
Sure, no problem. As time went on, Mom and Dad started leaving him with me all the time. Eventually, I was Sam's permanent babysitter. When Sam turned 2, he turned into a maniac. He drew on the walls with crayons, smashed an expensive vase, and poured milk in my dad's office drawer. And they blamed me every time.
That vase cost a fortune. I'm taking it out of your allowance.
But it's not my fault.
I told you so.
Told me what?
That the brat was a bad idea. It's only gonna get worse.
And Naomi was right. One day, I had a huge chemistry test and told my parents way in advance that I needed to study. But they still shoved Sam in my face and just left. I'd had enough. I dropped Sam off in Naomi's room and headed out the door.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm done with this family. I'm out of here.
You can't just leave me with this thing.
Watch me. Look, Sammy, she has cookies. Sam grabbed Naomi, and I walked out the door.
Ah, no, get away. Leave me alone. Help.
I hopped on the bus and went straight to my dad's. He was out of town when I got there, so his maid let me in. For the first time in a long time, I had peace and quiet. My mom and stepdad freaked out when they found out I'd left, but I refused to come back. In school the next day, Naomi ran up to me looking crazy.
I can't take it. Please come back home.
I thought you hated me?
I do, but Sam's a demon. He tore up all my clothes and flushed my makeup down the toilet.
Sounds like you're getting a taste of your own medicine. I turned to walk away, but then Naomi started bawling like a big baby.
Please, I'll do anything. Just come back home.
Okay, maybe I'll come back, but on one condition. You have to do what I say when I ask.
No way. I'm not your maid.
You won't be my maid, you'll be my assistant.
That's even worse.
Take it or leave it. Naomi reluctantly agreed. But even if she hadn't, I'd have moved back anyway because I missed my little Sam. The thought of him being ignored by my shallow parents and selfish Naomi made me sick to my stomach. I moved back in, and whenever our parents left us with Sam, I'd set up a schedule so Naomi and I shared the responsibilities. Things were great for a while, but they took a turn. When Sam turned 10, he stole my mom's diamond ring and gave it to his classmate to impress her.
A pretty ring for a pretty girl?
Are you crazy? I can't take this.
Sam got so mad he punched the girl in the face. Then he sold mom's ring to his friend.
I'll give it to you for $50.
40!
Deal!
One day, Sam's teacher called my parents in for a meeting. Of course, they were too busy to go and sent me and Naomi instead.
We came because our parents have leukemia. Oh my god.
No, she means anemia.
No, I think I meant amnesia. They're getting old and crazy.
They're just sick, and we came instead of them. Can you tell us what the problem is?
Sam gave one of his classmates a black eye. He broke a window, and he's been terrorizing the other students.
When we got home, I went straight to Sam's room. We need to talk about what's going on with you in school.
I'm busy.
If you keep this up, you might get expelled.
Get out!
Sam slammed the door in my face. He was very stubborn, but I wanted to help him. When my mom and stepdad came back that night, Naomi and I told them everything.
It's those mean kids. They hate me. And they're always making fun of me because I don't have nice things.
Oh, darling, we're so sorry.
We'll buy you new clothes.
Then Mom took Sam on a shopping spree. I couldn't believe they fell for his act. Later that night, my parents went out of town for a business dinner, and Naomi and I were watching Avatar World videos in my room when Sam appeared out of nowhere.
Hey, stupid witches, you're gonna pay for telling on me.
Get out of the way, psycho! We're trying to watch TV!
Sam pulled out a huge jar of crickets from behind his back and smashed it onto the floor. The crickets landed in our hair and all over our clothes.
Ha ha ha! Get them, my pretties!
A couple of months later, Mom and Stepdad called us into the living room to tell us we were moving into a brand new, fancy house.
So wait, we're rich again?
Yes, we have twice as much money as we had before.
Thank God! I hated being poor.
Now I can go to a fancy college.
Only the best for my daughter.
A month later, Naomi left for college in another city. I could have gone away too, but I was too worried about Sam. So I got enrolled in a college close to home. But soon after, my stepdad enrolled Sam in an expensive private school, and he started hanging out with these spoiled rich kids. I had to make sure that he didn't get into some big trouble. In my sophomore year, I was reading in the park one day when suddenly I spotted a big dog running at crazy speed with a guy my age trying to grab his leash. His name was Alex, and he was a senior in my university. I gave him my hoodie, and we ended up talking for a while. I hadn't even realized 2 hours had gone by. Oh shoot, I gotta go. I gotta check in on my little brother.
So how? How do I get your hoodie back to you? Maybe I could take you out for dinner tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sorry, but with the university and some things at home, I really don't have time to date.
Gotcha. Well, here's my number. Just let me know where I can drop it then.
He started walking away, and so did I. But a part of me felt like I was doing the wrong thing. Hey, wait! How about a coffee tomorrow?
Sounds like a good place to start.
Alex and I started dating, and being with him just made me happy. For the first time, it felt like someone was noticing what I needed and was taking care of me. But things at home with Sam just kept getting worse. He was skipping classes and getting detention all the time. And then some creepy guys started coming around the house looking for Sam when my parents weren't home. When I asked him who they were, He just told me to mind my business. Then one night, Sam came home with a bruised face. Are you okay? What's going on?
I'm fine, sis. I can take care of myself.
Sam, I can't be your babysitter forever. I have a life of my own, and one day I'll just leave.
Then leave. My life, my choices. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change.
Then he just hugged me and cried. The next morning, I tried to talk to him, but he was already gone. I'm worried about Sam. I think something's going on with him.
You worry too much, honey. Sam's fine.
Have you seen his face?
He said he got hurt during football practice.
Soon after I graduated, Alex proposed. And I was over the moon! I'd have to move out, but I would only be 10 minutes away from Sam. Not that he seemed to care much either way. And on my wedding day, Sam was nowhere to be found. I kept calling him, but I couldn't get through. And we couldn't postpone the ceremony any longer. I felt so upset that he had missed this. But 2 hours later, I finally got a panicked call from Sam asking me to pick him up from some bad neighborhood. You're not a baby anymore. You just ruined one of the most important days of my life. I've always been there for you, and you couldn't even be there for me, even today. I started to give up hope of fixing him. I was fighting a battle alone, a battle that wasn't mine, and my parents just made things worse. Sam failed high school, but my stepdad paid the school board to give him passing grades. It made me so mad, but I had no say in the matter. Then one day, the company I worked for gave me an amazing job promotion if I moved to California. It was a great opportunity, but I felt unsure. Alex supported me either way, but I tossed and turned all night, thinking about what to do, and finally called Naomi.
You've got one life, Emery. You can either live it for Sam or live it for yourself.
Sam had started interning at his dad's firm, but I observed him for some weeks and saw that he still had the same kind of friends and was still blowing money and partying the same way. And I finally made my decision.
What? You're going to California? That's across the country. I need you here, Emery.
No, not really. You only need me around to clean up your messes. But I'm done doing that. Sam, you were right. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change.
Emery, please. You're all I have.
You've got Mom and Dad, and they'll take care of you in their own way. You're their kid. I just can't be your parent anymore.
But you're my big sister.
And I'll always be there for you as that. So when you decide to fix your ways, come and see me, okay? I love you, Sam, but I'm leaving. It's time.
Hi friends, my name is Lara and I live in Portugal. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by a single mom who loved me to bits. When I was very young, Mom had to work really hard to put food on the table. She worked as a cashier, a housekeeper, and even a delivery driver. Even though her jobs were stressful, she used her free time to study and train. Before anyone knew it, she became a firefighter, and everyone was totally blown away. I was so proud of her. But growing up, I'd see other kids with big families. Dads, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and cousins. I'd feel sad and kind of jealous. I kept asking my mom about it nonstop. But whenever I asked her, Mom would say,
I used to have a sister, but then she went on a trip to Mars and I hope she stays there forever.
Well, I believed her for a while until I understood she was just kidding. But still, I wished for a family. But Mom made sure we were both enough. She'd skateboard with me while we were out getting groceries. She'd have tea parties with me and would even let me give her a makeover because Mom was a total goofball. I was too. I'd cosplay as a ninja, run around the cafeteria, danced in the assembly and whatnot. One time I was at school and the class was just not ending, so I pulled a saxophone out of my backpack and just blew it as hard as I could.
Who did this?
Teacher, we have no idea. I knew no one would answer. Everyone was probably just as bored as I was. But I couldn't control my giggles, and she knew it was me and instantly gave me a detention. It wasn't my first time, but seeing Bruno, the hottest and most arrogant boy of the school there, made it totally worthwhile. Hey Bruno, what brings you to my kingdom? The guy just gave me a look and rolled his eyes. Such a diva. Come on, tell me what happened. Okay, fine. Let me guess. You started a food fight. No, I've never seen you in the cafeteria. Okay, you pranked some teacher. No, you're just too much into your studies. So you hit someone? No, that can't be it. That's because you're just way too sophisticated to touch someone else.
Oh my god, can you stop mouth farting for just 1 second? I don't want to have to wear my mask on my ears.
Oh, so that's exactly why I'm gonna keep doing it. What brings you to my kingdom? Come on, spill the tea. Okay, fine, let me guess.
Fine, I'll tell you, but just keep it to yourself. I'm here because...
What?
I'm here because...
I can't hear you.
I'm here because I got an F and lost it. Tore the paper in the teacher's face. And I was just so angry and nothing made it.
Bruno seemed to be having a panic attack, and I did the only thing that I thought would help. I hugged him and rubbed his back. Hey, breathe, dude. Just breathe slowly. I've been in worse situations, okay? I'm just saying that to make you feel better. But still, detention is like a second home to me. It worked, and he chuckled.
You are one crazy chick.
I've been told that before. The next day at lunch, I was sitting with my friends and Bruno came, and everyone looked at him like he was some alien, but not me. Sure, you can sit here. Wait, Sonny, can you give up your seat for this kid? Come on, friend.
Friend? Thanks. I like that.
After that day, Bruno and my friendship only grew, and we became best friends. Everyone thought he was a snob, but Bruno was just the quiet type. He was 1 in a million. By the time I was in 8th grade, I started thinking his smile was really cute. Wait, did I have a crush on Bruno? No way. It's probably just that best friend of the opposite gender feeling. But when we returned to school after summer vacation, I wanted to start off the new year with something special. So I gave Bruno a chocolate bar.
Geez, thanks.
And after just 1 bite, his face turned red.
What the heck did you put in this?
Looks like I went a little overboard with the chili powder.
I'll get you for this!
Saying that, Bruno chased after me, but someone came in front of me. I skidded to the side and then crashed on the floor. And then I saw Bruno and a girl looking at me.
Are you okay? Please tell me that you're all right.
Laura, you almost gave me a heart attack. Tell me you're okay.
Yeah, I feel fine. Bruno and the girl helped me up. And then she told me that her name was Valerie, and she had just moved into the town. Amazingly, she was with Bruno and me in our class. Pretty soon, Valerie, Bruno, and I became a team. We did everything together. We'd study together and even go out together. All 3 of us even joined the cheerleading squad together. One time, all 3 of us went out for a movie, and while Bruno was in line getting us popcorn that was slower than a snail at a snail funeral, the only thing I focused on was how handsome Bruno was.
Why don't you tell him how you feel, huh?
What?
Come on, it's all over your face. Just tell him.
Right then I saw Bruno coming and Valerie started giggling.
Did I miss something?
No, Laura wants to tell you something. Something very important.
Yeah, I did. I just totally forgot to tell you what a cute little girl you look like in that pink t-shirt. Seriously, dude?
You bought it for me, so thanks, I guess. So that was it.
Come on, the movie's starting. Let's go. Gosh, I could never tell Bruno that I liked him. Like, in a different way. When we finally had our summer vacations, Bruno went to his grandma's in Florida, and I missed him a lot. But thank God I had Valerie now. She once invited me to her home, and I was literally shocked to see how big it was.
Whoa, Valerie, you're rich! Yeah, my mom actually won the lottery before I was born. Can you believe it? It's so crazy!
Wow, lucky you! Valerie's mom was so nice, and I was having an amazing time with them. A few days later, there was a carnival in our town, and we both met there in the evening. Mom was running late, so while Valerie's mom sat, we both went to the Ferris wheel ride. We were having so much fun, and then heard noises and looked down. I was shocked to see Mom arguing with Valerie's mom.
Don't tell me where to live and where not to. I can do whatever I want.
Oh yeah? Like steal more things? You stole from your own sister? I won that lottery and you stole the ticket and just vanished. And now you have the guts to show your face after all these years?
What the heck? Valerie's mom was my mom's sister. Before Valerie and I could say anything, both of our moms grabbed our hands and left. I didn't get to talk to Valerie for the rest of the summer vacation. But when we went back to school, I really wanted to sort things out. After all, she was my cousin. But the moment I said hi to her, she blew me off.
Stay away from me! I don't ever want to talk to you! Your mom called my mom a thief!
Okay, that really pissed me off. Don't be a jerk. The big house you were flaunting that day, it's all thanks to my mom. The fact remains the same. Your mom is a thief. Hearing this, she pushed me hard and I landed in the dustbin.
Stay there or I swear I'll ruin you! You know what? I'll tell Bruno you have a crush on him. No! On second thought, I'll make sure that he hates you. Watch me destroy you!
What did she think I was? A coward! I jumped and grabbed her hair, and before we knew it, we were both in a cat fight. We were later taken to the principal's office, and both of our moms were called, and it turned into a battleground. I had never seen this side of my mom, and it just made me realize her sister hurt her bad. After that day, things got tough. Valerie would always pick on me, and I would always retaliate. It seemed she was a totally different person. One time we were in art class, and I was minding my own business when Valerie came and started telling me how bad my painting was. Like I ever needed her approval. I was so done with her, so I pushed her just a little. But the girl landed on her painting, knocking out all of the paints from the table, in a really dramatic way. And then she literally started screaming like a banshee.
Ouch, my foot! Lara, why would you do that? I told you I'm sorry for everything. And still.
OMG, what a liar! The teacher and all the kids in the class gathered around us, and Valerie kept on with her fake crying.
Shut up, Valerie, or else I'll—
Stop it, you two! Lara, what has gotten into you?
I couldn't believe Bruno was on her side. I told him she was faking it. But Valerie cried harder, and Bruno looked so concerned about her, ignoring me. He picked up Valerie, took her out of the class while I was sent to the principal's office, and I got detention. When it was time to go home, Bruno came to see me and kept telling me how I had hurt Valerie. I wished he wasn't that blind.
For God's sake, she's faking it! Bruno, you have to choose. It's either me or Valerie.
Lara, you're both my friends. I just can't choose.
Whoa! Oh, I see. Well, fine.
I couldn't believe this. I pushed him out of the way and ran home. That was the worst day of my life. Bruno tried to talk to me at school. He called me and texted me so many times. He even visited me at home. But I didn't want to see him because I was just so angry. I even stopped talking to my friends and would eat lunch in the classroom alone. I just couldn't see Valerie and Bruno sitting together, and the way she gave me those wicked smirks. I hated her so much, but I channeled all of my attention into my studies, and sometimes even the teachers would ask me to crack a joke or something, saying they missed the goofy old Lara. But that Lara, well, she was gone. After 9th grade, I switched schools and cut off all ties with my friends. From there, I wanted to start new, and I was going to do well in my new school. I got into competitive cheerleading, and one time in high school, we had a competition. And after the first routine, I spotted Bruno backstage. The moment our eyes met, I tripped and scraped my knee. At once, Bruno came running to me and helped me out. And then he brought out a bandage to put it on the little scrape. He still cared for me like he used to. He had just gotten even more handsome.
It's good. Now you'll survive the next round, so, how have you been?
Without even answering, I got up to leave, but he held my hand.
Aw, Lara, I've missed you so much. I am so sorry. I tried contacting you, but you shut me out. I had been meaning to tell you how I felt. Then everything got crazy. But just hear me out, please.
Gosh, I had missed him too, like crazy in these 2 years. But when I was about to say something, I heard an ugly voice.
Come on, Bruno, it's our routine. Oh, a blast from the past. I see you're still a clumsy little thing.
Oh, I see that you're still a little witch. I was determined to win the competition because I knew what it meant to Valerie. So I put my all into these routines. When Valerie's team performed, their performance was all glitz and glamour, with fireworks at the end. So extra. When we were all called onto the stage for the results, it turned out Valerie and my team had a tie, and we had to share the trophy.
Heck, no way, this trophy is mine.
Not on my watch.
Just then, I let go of the trophy, and Valerie went crashing backwards. She totally deserved it. All of a sudden, there was smoke, and someone screamed fire. It turned out the stupid fireworks Valerie and her team did at the end of the routine caused a fire. It was panic and chaos all over. The entire hall had been emptied, but while running to the exit, I realized Valerie was still there where she had fallen. I just couldn't leave her.
Valerie, where are you?
Lara, I'm here. I'm stuck.
Just when I moved forward to look for her, someone grabbed me and dragged me out of the hall. It was Bruno.
Oh my God, Valerie's still in there. Someone's got to help her. Bruno, we've got to go back in there.
Oh no, Valerie, someone please get my baby out of there? Please.
The fire was blazing and I felt my heart sink. But then Mom came to my aunt.
Don't worry, I'll get her. Don't you dare lose hope. Everyone stay back.
Mom went inside, and each minute felt like 1,000 years. I was so worried. Seeing my aunt cry, I went and sat by her side, and she instantly hugged me.
I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry for everything. I hurt your mom because of what I did. Your and Valerie's friendship suffered. I'm so sorry for everything. I just hope my Valerie will be all right.
At that moment, I regretted each and every mean word I'd ever said to Valerie. All the drama, all the fights, none of that mattered right now. The only thing that mattered was family. And just then, I saw Mom coming out of the hall.
She was carrying Valerie in her arms. Thank God they were both safe! All of a sudden, there were cheers and happy tears, and we all hugged. Me, Mom, Valerie, and my aunt. We all hugged like there was no tomorrow. After we were given first aid, Bruno and I sat on a bench and watched as Mom and my aunt patched things up. They were all in tears after my aunt thanked and apologized so much. It seemed Mom was willing to give her another chance.
You gotta admit, you have one really dramatic family.
Says the boy who blew his own fuse getting an F. Yep, I still remember that. By the way, what were you saying earlier? Something you wanted to tell me?
Oh, that was nothing. I mean, it was something like,
Oh my gosh, Laura. Bruno likes you a lot. And Laura likes you too. Sorry, guys. I had to. You guys would have taken forever.
I just shook my head and laughed and then looked into Bruno's eyes. We kissed for the first time and it was perfect.
Hi, I'm Rain from Scotland, and this is my story. Please like and subscribe. When I was little, Mom used to tell me I was a grown-up trapped in a child's body. I was different from my twin sister Luna, a typical sand-eating Jell-O sticky kid. From the moment I started kindergarten, I'd help Mom with everything around the house. Laundry, cooking, taking out the trash.
My sweet Rain, you are what we call an old soul.
But I think I only helped Mom out because I was scared our lives would fall apart if I didn't. My dad lay around the house like a sloth all day, dreaming about becoming a famous actor.
I wasn't born to do petty jobs. I'm here to be a great actor, like Michael Jackson.
Dad, Michael Jackson was a singer.
Dad, when you become rich and famous, will you take me to Disneyland? And can I have my own castle?
My princess? I'll buy you a dozen castles.
Obviously, Luna was Dad's favorite daughter because she'd fall for all his lies. When Luna and I were in 6th grade, our parents got divorced. Dad went to the US to fulfill his acting dream. He took Luna with him while I stayed behind with Mom. Dad hardly kept in touch, and Mom and I missed Luna so much. Mom was also having trouble finding a good job. And then one day I had a brilliant idea. Mom, you make amazing cupcakes and cookies. What if you put up a stall at my school carnival next week? Mom loved the idea. And sure enough, her stall was a huge success. From that day on, Mom set up baking stands at the park. And a few years later, she started her own bakery. But she worked long hours, so I was mostly by myself in the house. When I wasn't doing household chores, I was reading or studying. I was the top of my class at school, but I didn't have many friends. On my 15th birthday, my life took a turn. Dad called us with wild news.
Luna is coming back to live with you guys. I'll send her flight details soon.
With that, he hung up without even wishing me happy birthday. But Mom was overjoyed, and so was I. It turned out Luna had been living the life of a billionaire. Dad had married a wealthy woman who lived in a palace. They were sending Luna to us on a private jet. When Luna arrived, all she could talk about was America.
I'm already missing the US so much. It's like the coolest country on the planet.
Apparently, Luna also had a filthy rich boyfriend. She was wearing tons of gold jewelry that he'd bought her.
His name is Nate, and he's a junior in high school. He's even flying in to see me soon.
If your life is so great in America, why'd you move here?
I needed some change. I thought the fresh country air would be good for my skin.
Fresh country air? We live in Glasgow, Scotland's largest city. When we reached home, Mom asked me to show Luna around. That's when she saw the trophies I'd won over the years.
OMG! I see you're still the same nerdy Rain.
If nerdy means having top grades, then yeah, I guess.
If I managed to get a C, I'd treat myself to a spa day. Studying really messes with my brain.
The next few days, all Luna did was sleep or watch dancing videos on her phone while I went to school and did all the chores. I even did her laundry, but apparently that wasn't enough for her.
Iron them for me, too. They're wrinkled.
They're wrinkled because you tossed your clothes on the floor. I was basically a 15-year-old mom raising a royal brat. When Mom enrolled Luna at my school, she instantly became popular as this cool, bubblegum chewing kid from America. Whenever I was with Luna, an army of students followed us everywhere. One time, some girls even followed us into the bathroom. She has to pee. Do you want to watch her do that too? Just then, Luna came out of the stall totally transformed. She'd knotted her shirt way up her waist, exposing her belly, and her knee-length skirt was now barely reaching her thighs.
Come on, girls! Who wants to take some pictures?
The girls queued up for a selfie with Luna. Then they gave her £1 each. What was that?
These girls wanted a photo of me when I told them that my style is the most popular style for girls in the US at the moment. And since Mom gives us peanuts for allowance, I thought this would be the cool way to make some money.
Mom does the best she can. Why do you have to complain about everything?
Why do you always have to play the perfect child? Don't you get bored?
Actually, I do. Some days I want to be just like you, lazing around the house, sleeping like a log, and acting like a jerk. This made Luna so angry that she spat out her bubblegum and was about to stick it in my hair. But I pushed her, and she went flying into one of the cubicles, landing straight into a toilet bowl. Now this is a throne perfect for a spoiled princess like you. Luna and I pretty much ignored each other after that. She spent all her time hanging out with her friends and going to parties every night. And as usual, I was all alone. But on the last day of school, I walked to Mom's bakery and found Luna sitting outside looking upset. Luna, what's wrong?
I'm a failure. A stupid, dumb failure. I flunked all my classes. I have to repeat the 9th grade.
What do you mean you have to repeat the 9th grade? How could you fail all your classes?
Don't you see I already feel horrible? Stop judging me for once.
I fell silent, and after a moment I reached down and helped her up. It's not the end of the world, Luna. Come on, let's go in and help Mom out a little. Luna and I helped Mom out all day. Luna was sweating and exhausted, but Mom was overjoyed with the work we did. She offered us both summer jobs.
You girls did so well today. And Luna, I think having a job will be good for you.
To my surprise, Luna agreed. It took her weeks to get used to working in the kitchen, but after a while, we started having lots of fun. From that day on, Luna and I spent every minute together. I was having more fun and not working as hard. Luna even invited me to her friends' parties. But a couple weeks later, Luna's boyfriend Nate flew in to visit for a few days. He arrived at our house in a limousine with a white horse trotting behind.
I got you your own horse, babe. We can ride him together.
Oh my god, he's perfect. This is so romantic.
Where are we going to keep a horse? We don't even have a stable. Luna ignored me and just walked into the house with Nate. I also found out Nate was obnoxious and bragged non-stop.
It's tough being the son of a billionaire. All the girls want is a piece of this. Someone's going to write my story one day because I'm just too special to be real.
And worst of all, Luna was totally obsessed with him. She would share a chair with him at breakfast and take selfies of them kissing every 5 seconds. I'd started thinking she wasn't all that bad, but she was back to acting as immature as ever and left me working all alone at the bakery. Then one day as I was heading out, I saw Nate standing in the doorway and smiling. Excuse me, I have a job to go to now.
I bet you look adorable in an apron. How about I go with you, beautiful?
Nate leaned in closer and I shoved him away. Get away from me, you creep.
Just one kiss. Luna doesn't have to know.
Luna doesn't have to know what, babe?
Luna put her arms around Nate, but I pulled her away. Your sleazy boyfriend just tried to kiss me behind your back.
Ha 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 ha, you're funny. Rain, but I know Nate and boring and nerdy isn't his type. Don't be jealous. You'll have a boyfriend soon too.
Yeah, don't be jealous, Rain.
Luna and Nate started to leave, but I grabbed Luna's arm. You're such an idiot. I've been at the bakery by myself for the past few days. You have to help out this afternoon.
Okay, sis, I'm just taking Nate to the spa and then I'll come back.
Yeah, drop your cheating boyfriend off at the spa. Luna ignored me, but did come to the bakery later. I left her alone so I could run to the library and study. But an hour later, I got a call.
Rain, come back quickly. The bakery's on fire.
I felt as if someone had pulled the ground from under my feet. I immediately called a fire brigade and rushed back. How did this happen?
I don't know. I was baking cupcakes, but the batter overflowed and first the oven caught fire. And then...
Luna, how stupid can you be?
It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Just then, Mom arrived on the scene too. The fire brigade managed to put out the fire, but by then, everything was lost. No one had dinner that night. Mom's eyes were puffy from crying. But neither Luna nor Nate said a word. It's okay, Mom. We'll build everything again.
But it will take months. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to send you girls to school?
I hugged Mom and stayed with her the whole night while Luna shut herself up in her room with Nate. Nate was leaving the next afternoon. Before his flight, Luna blindfolded him and led him to our back alley.
Ta-da! I bought you a car, babe!
Are you serious? How'd you get me a car?
My dad sends me a huge allowance. I spent all of mine on this car for you.
Are you kidding me? That money could have helped pay off damages to Mom's bakery that you burnt down.
I ordered the car a month ago and Rain, the bakery fire was an accident. I already feel horrible about it, but you keep making me feel worse.
I don't think you feel bad at all. You never even apologized to Mom while you were living your perfect fancy life with Dad. It was really hard for Mom to start her business from scratch, and I always had to be an adult. And you'll always be a spoiled brat who wrecks everything. I spent the next 13 hours studying like crazy, and when I wasn't studying, I tidied my room. I had to get my mind off Luna, and I had to stop worrying about Mom. Finally, at night, Mom came into my room.
Sweetie, take a break and relax.
How can I relax? We lost the family business in a fire because Luna's an irresponsible lunatic.
It's not that simple, Rain.
What do you mean?
Honey, Luna got diagnosed with bipolar disorder last month. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to worry you. People who are bipolar do crazy things sometimes. Then they get really tired and sometimes even sad. It's why Luna sleeps so much and has trouble doing schoolwork.
What? Why would you guys hide that from me?
It was her decision. And honey, trust me, Luna feels terrible about the bakery. Go easy on her, okay?
That night, I couldn't sleep. Why hadn't Luna told me about her condition? Was I a bad person for getting mad at her? The next day, Luna knocked on my door while I was studying.
Mom said she told you about my diagnosis. I'm sorry I kept it a secret from you. I was just so ashamed.
But why, Luna? I'm your sister.
Yeah, my perfect sister who never makes mistakes or fails at anything. I came back to you guys because Dad and his wife couldn't handle having me around. You don't know what it's like to be a disaster like me.
I ran over to hug Luna. I had no idea she'd been suffering, and I'd been so tough on her.
Oh, also about Nate. I'm taking back the car from him and giving the money to Mom. I'm so sorry I didn't believe you. I caught him texting with some other girl too.
He's a jerk!